Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the encounter. This is a beautiful day, the day that the Lord has made, the day that we should be glad and rejoice in it. I know we were doing a series of, the children of Israel crossing from Egypt all the way to the Promised Land. We were looking at the challenges that they encountered on the wilderness, and we were doing that series and trying to see what happened throughout this journey, what made them, take the longest time, in the desert or in the wilderness. But as I was still trying to prepare this follow-up on this series, I had something else in mind, or the Spirit of the Lord, put something else in my mind that I feel like I should address that. So before we embark on that story of the children of Israel crossing from Egypt to the Promised Land, I will divert a little bit today and talk about worry. We're talking about worry. So today I will handle the topic of worry, and then we will try to see the types of worry. We will try to see, what worry does to us, and actually what the scripture says about, the worry. So if you are watching this video for the first time, kindly take a second or two to click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that the next time I produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video today, and I hope you will learn something from today's topic. So welcome, and let's get into this. So actually we're gonna define what worry is and try to see why do we even get worried, and try to understand, did even worry, begin with us? Did it start with us? So you ask yourself, where did the worry came from? Did the worry start from us? And what does the Lord say about being worried? So most of the people know, most of us know how it feels to be worried, or actually how it feels to be really worried. You know how it feels to worry, and most of us really know how it feels to be worried. And most of the times, worry is used in tandem with anxious or anxiety. So we tend to think and ask ourselves, so are these two things the same? And worry is actually a thought process. It's a collection of thoughts. You think about so many things, and worry is actually future oriented. Like there are the things that are about to happen. There are the things that you think might happen. And actually another thing is worry is actually future negative events, because you can be worried about something that will be successful. You can be worried about something that might happen that will be a success. We always worry about things that will happen and will be of negative impact, either to us, to our families, to our lives, to our loved ones. So that always causes worry. So worry is actually the thought process, a collection of thoughts. So anxiety, therefore, is the emotions that occur as a result of worry. So whenever you worry, the emotions that accompany worrying, those emotions is what we'll define as anxiety. So most of the times people say I'm worried and anxious. So they use this because they go hand in hand. You are worried, your thought process, and then after you are worried about something, the emotions that accompany the worry is what we call anxiety. So that's why most of us say I'm worried and anxious. Actually, so therefore it leads me to the definition of worry as a collection of thoughts or doubts about future negative events that are accompanied by anxiety. I putting together what worry is and what anxiety is, therefore come up with as a definition that worry is a collection of thoughts or doubts about future negative events that are accompanied by anxiety. So that is a simple definition of what we are talking about today. And actually, we ask ourselves, so what are the causes of this worry? What causes you to worry? What makes you, worry about uncertainties? What makes you worry about, the future? We say it's a future oriented. Somebody might say no, but sometimes we worry about the past. So how do you worry about, the past? You worried about, if you're worrying about the past, you're worried about something that happened in the past that is going to impact what is going to happen in the future. And that's why I want to keep worry as, future oriented. If you're worried about something that is in the past, you are worried about that thing because that thing has an effect on something that is going to happen in the future. So what causes these worries? We have feelings, sometimes resentment, sometimes emotions with these anxieties. So these are the things that causes worry. When you are angry, when you are emotional, when you are anxious, or when you are resentful, or sometimes even when you are fearful. When you have fear in you, you tend to worry. So we have different types of worries. What about, how many types of worries do we have? Today I'm going to give you only the 3 types of worries that I can think about. You may add more. You may, comment on the, put some on the comment section, and, whatever types of worries you think we have. But today I'm going to introduce you to the 3 types of worries. And worry number 1 is worrying about something that you have to face. You are worrying about something that you have to face. Common example, for example, some of us, sometimes we are worried about the exams that we are about to take. And this type of worry comes in because we didn't do something that we were needed to do. Whenever you are worried about something that you're about to face, you are worried about, exams that you're about to take. So we get to this point because we didn't do something that we were supposed to do. We didn't, for example, in our for our case, we are worried because we didn't, study. We didn't revise for the exams. That's why we are worried about facing this exam. And then you ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen due to this type of worry? The worst that can happen is maybe you fail, and that's not the end of everything. You maybe have to retake the class, or find an alternative. So that is worry type 1. Number 2, worry about something that is out of our reach. We are worried about something that we can do nothing about it. We are worried about something that we can't change. So that kind of worry is the kind of a worry that you cannot, you worry about the weather, but you can actually do nothing about it. You can't change the weather. Today you are worried that it's gonna rain, but what can you do about it? You cannot change the conditions. So that is worry number 2. Then another type of worry is the worry of what if. You ask yourself, what if, and or but. So this is a worry of uncertainty. When we wish for a certain kind of a result. Let's say you get into a business, you start your business, and you are worried, what if it doesn't pick up? What if it doesn't run as I plan? So that is the worry number 3. So those are the 3 kinds of types of worries that I was going to introduce you to. You're worried about things you're about to face. You're worried about things that are out of your reach, and you are worried about what if, the uncertainties or the outcomes of what you are getting into. And then as I was still trying to think of this, I was like, so when did the worry start? Did the worry start with us? And the thing is, even during creation, God knew that we were gonna be worried, and He had to address some of these things on the gospel. And I moved today from the Old Testament to the New Testament, and I was trying to see and ask myself, what did God say about? What did God have to say about worry? Did He even know that we were going to worry? And in a book of Matthew 6, if you read the book of Matthew 6, actually God had a lot to say about worry, okay? And what I understand about it is, worry gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. Whenever you're worried, it keeps your mind thinking, so you have something to do. But that thing you are doing gets you nowhere, because whenever you're worried, most of the times you don't have an answer for it. Whenever you are worried, most of the times you don't know what to do in that situation. So worry gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. So let's get into Matthew 6 and see what actually the Lord had to say, what Jesus had to say about worry. And in my Bible, if you read that, first of all, Jesus came into this unpredictable world. He lived in agricultural society. He lived in the world that we live in right now, the things that we face right now. He lived among us. He lived as one of us, so that he came make himself as human, so that we could see or we could understand all what he was trying to do or what he was trying to achieve. So actually, he gave us the bodies that we have. Jesus Christ gave us the life, and he gave us the physical form of the bodies that we have. So actually, this is one of the incredible, valuable things that God gave us, the life and our physical forms of our bodies. So that is incredibly a valuable thing that he gave us. So if he gave us this, then he gave us something that is valuable, and we should not even be worried about anything else. So if he gave me my body, he gave you the physical form of your body, definitely he's going to provide you with the clothes to cover it. He's going to provide you with food, to feed it. He's going to provide you with, medication to take care of, a situation when you are sick or when you're something like that, And in chapter number 26 of Matthew, in verse number 26 of Matthew chapter 6, it says, "Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life." And in the version that I have, it says, "This is why I tell you, do not be worried about the food and drink." Do not be worried about what you are gonna have. Do not be worried about earthly things. Do not be worried about what happens around you, because if he made you, then he definitely knew what you were gonna go through. So as I was saying, Jesus gave us our human life and our bodies without even asking. We didn't ask for God to give us all this, and he gave us the valuable thing, that is the soul and that is the life. And they say, look at the birds of the air. The birds of the air eat, and they do not sow. So it was trying to show us that is in chapter number 26. It was trying to show us that God provides for these birds of the air. They don't do nothing, but at the end of the day, they feed, they eat, and they live. So he provides for them. So if he can provide for these birds, then what about someone he gave life, someone he gave the physical form of the body that we have? We should not be worried. And this tells me that worry was there even before we existed. He knew that we were going to be worried at some point about what is happening around us, about what is happening within us, about what is happening in the world that we live in. And as I was going through this, if you read all that chapter, I'm not going to go through all the chapter. I was just trying to introduce you to the fact that, he knew that you were going to be worried. And he had a lot of things to say about worry. And that is in the whole chapter 6 of Matthew. And going through 25, 26, 27, he explains, all these kinds of worries. And then I realized, why do even worry happens? Why do we have to worry? And my main lesson on that was worry. I came to learn that worry only exists in the presence of little faith. Worry only happens when there is existence of little faith. If we had faith and follow the scriptures and understand that we are not supposed to worry because he takes care of us, then that way we could not be worried about what we are worried about today. We could not be worried about where we are heading to. We could not be worried about where we are today. We could not be worried about what's going to happen to us. If you have faith that he created you and he put you on this earth for a purpose, then worry is not part of you. But we are not, we are not unique enough to to avoid this worry. At some point in our lives, we all get worried. But the thing is, whenever you are worried, do you have faith about what he says in his word? Do you trust in him? So my biggest lesson on this is worry only exists in the presence of little faith. So if you have faith, you are not worried about what you're going to do. You are not worried about what you're going to eat. You are not worried about where you're going next, because he leads you. His thoughts are way better than our thoughts. He has a plan for us, a plan to prosper but not to harm us. That is in the book of Jeremiah 29:11. He has some plans for us, the plans to prosper us. The point that you are in right now, the stage that you are in right now, the situation that you are in right now, he has a plan for you, and he knows why you're going through that. He said a breakthrough comes, whenever you're going to break to the next level, you even face harder challenges, and that way you get to be worried. And he tells us we should not be anxious or worried about anything, because he knows where we are, he knows where we are going. So worry comes because there is existence of little faith. Have faith, and worry is not going to be a part of you. I felt like dealing with this thing of worry, because I know it is the thing that we encounter all the time. It's something that we face all the time, and I am here to encourage you today that if you have faith, if you believe in his word, if you submit everything to God in prayer, then worry is not part of you. Have faith, trust in him. Until next time, I appreciate you for taking your time to watch this video. If you have any comment, leave it on the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up. Until next time, ciao ciao, and God bless you. Thank you.